Hey guys, how are you doing? Today is September 2nd, and today I'm not going to say company's performance, but I want to have a short, I'm not going to say on comment or discussion with you together on Nvidia, right? We know that there is you can say is a bad news for Nvidia, and not only Nvidia. This morning I read the news, and AMD also confirmed that she received the official um, information right from the government, then saying the same as for Nvidia, right? In the past half year, then we've been quite scared or disappointed on the tech stock, right? And including a lot of names that been previously then is the king, right? A lot of people saying that Adobe is the king, then now it dropped it nearly half. And also Shopify, I dumped it already. Then Shopify dropped it about 80% from the peak, right? And then is Facebook, and then Snap is going to cut more than 1,000 employees, and then now is Nvidia and AMD, then is TSM, right? Samsung's performance is okay, but the stock price is not okay, right? So a lot of those things then make us scared on the tech stock, and then yesterday there is a bad news for Nvidia, right? For Nvidia is the most serious one, right? She dropped it nearly 7%, right? Maximum is 10%. I remember I read the price like that, and then finally the market closed it is about 7%, right? But Nvidia dropped it a lot already from her peak, right? So if you bought Nvidia at the peak, then maybe you lost more than 50%, right? More than 50%, then you're quite disappointed, right? I'm quite disappointed on that. But on this news, then from my suggestion is do not follow the car ahead too closely. A lot of people that follow very closely on news. I saw a lot of comments saying that dump, sell, strong sell, right? Dump it, right? Strong sell, right? Short it, right? So you may fall into a trap very closely, maybe just tonight, right? Because then Nvidia immediately posted another news, right? That is, she is getting the permission from U.S. government that is allowing her to develop those chips that she is not allowed to sell to China or Hong Kong, but is allowed she to develop in China, continue to develop and manufacture in China. So what does it mean, right? So we are going to discuss shortly on this story, right? So our Falcon portfolio been fallen a bit to 50%. And if for any subjects then you want me to discuss, then you can leave your message on the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. So this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. Then a little bit right down from Nasdaq. Nasdaq is 52%, and then our portfolio is 50%. So this is our covering, right? This is from Nvidia's newly posted information. Then this is quite weird, right? So very strange to me, right? And very strange to the investors, and that the revenue affected by not allowing Nvidia to sell those chips to China is not affecting much on Nvidia, right? At least from now, right? So let us start the discussion after some headlines first, right? It's quite miracle than Dow Jones yesterday because the unemployment rate is lower than expected. So you can see at the lower half, then Dow Jones rise back again, right? So it rised 145 points yesterday after the closing. And then, sorry for that, because Nvidia, AMD, ASML, whatever, TSM, all the tech stocks been dropping because of that news. So at the end of the day, then Nasdaq is fallen 31 points. So we compared it 1 week before the US 10-year Treasury yield, compared it to 1 week before. Then is 1 week before is 3.054%, and then yesterday night closed at 3.258%. So in between, the market drops. Then we strictly, right, go into the news. Then we have to go back to the days of Donald Trump. At the day of Donald Trump still the president, then he announced it. I think it's an executive order, right? All the export of high technology, like the chips, whatever, then if you want to export to China or related to China's, then you have to apply the permission. You have to get the permission from the Ministry of Commerce of US. When Donald Trump's still the president, it goes well. But after Biden's been the president, then okay, all the company, they still do the application to the Ministry of Commerce, but nearly 100% been approved. No matter is very high grade technology, medium grade technology, we mean the AI or the devices consisting of that, or the no technology, all been approved. More than 90% being approved. And then the US government found out that, oh, that is no use. Then recently they get another one, is prohibit the semiconductor software being used by China, right? So that's very important. That is a very important step, because that we know that even China get the M1 chips or M2 chips from Apple is no use, because that chips is decided according to the iOS. So you have, if you want to use them, you have to use the iOS. Otherwise, it's no use, right? Like Google, they will have their own chips for the Android system. So if you just get the chips, but you are not using that software, it's no use. So if China do not get that highest grade AI software designing, there's no use, because they cannot design the chips according to their own requirement. They have to rely on the other system. Like if you rely on iOS system, if Apple suddenly upgraded and then you cannot get the upgrade, then the chips is rubbish. That is also a killing already. But one day before, I think it's Biden, right? I don't know, it's Biden or the White House, right? And they further stress that, okay, for any semiconductor or any chips that is of highest grade AI that can be or properly used in the military weapon, then is prohibited to export to China. Prohibited, no need to apply, will not be allowed, right? So there is two kinds of model. One is A100, another one is H100, right? That is the Nvidia's GPU. We all know that for military fighter, right? Then you have to use a GPU for locating, right? For locating the enemy's aircraft. If you do not have that, then you cannot locate. That means no use, right? You can only see by your eyes, right? Why is that? Because China is always saying that then she will fight Taiwan or take back China by military force, right? That's the things that induce that things, right? So we know that for Nvidia, then she is not doing the chips. She is doing the chips together with the GPU, right? And that GPU, if you use that on our computer, that is for calculating, right? Graphics means calculating. That is a separating unit. That means whenever you have to run a video game, it involves a lot of calculation. A lot of calculation. Then you have to, like, okay, I cannot do this job, too heavy for me. I pass the job to another one. That's the computer pass the job to the GPU. That means the graphic card of Nvidia. And Nvidia use that graphic card for calculating. That AI can be used on military weapons. And then how much does this affect for Nvidia's revenue, right? It's 4 billion US dollar. And at the same time, US government already prohibited Nvidia to sell anything of this high-grade semiconductor or chips or GPU to Russia. But Nvidia said she does not have that kind of customers, so it's not affecting Nvidia. All right. So let us take a look on Nvidia's stock price. Then it is quite scary, right? You can see that the peak of Nvidia's price is about 346, and then yesterday after the market close it's 140. It dropped at more than 50%, and then the PE ratio I think now is very reasonable, 45.7 only. And then it been rebounded. You can see that it been rebounded from the lowest point 132 to 160, something like that. And then but after that news from US government, it falls back quite rapidly, right? You can see that yesterday at most dropped it more than 10%, and then after the closing it dropped at 7%. So quite sudden. Nvidia, this is the September 1, right, 12:43 p.m. US time. Nvidia said Thursday that US government told the company that it can, I think she can, right? She can continue to develop its H100 AI chips in China. What does it mean? Why she develop in China? It's because she want to sell this one in China, right? Then you assembling all the things in China, and then you ship back to US, right? You ship back to US and then distribute out. That is nonsense, right? If she is developing in China, then part of them may be sell to China, right? So what does the US government mean? And then Nvidia said in an SEC filing Wednesday that US government is restricting sales of high-performance AI chips for servers, the A100 and H100, to China and Russia. Sales of both chips are still restricted in those markets, though it can still develop H100 in China. Nvidia expect a 400 billion hit, right? You can see that it's a revenue, not net income, to the revenue in the current quarter from new export restriction, right? And then from the same day, right, Nvidia said she has the options to mitigate US government restrictions on China chip sales. Mitigate means slow down or make it better, right? And I think the point is like that, is then, first of all, then she can negotiate with the US government. And the second point is the world is progressing, right? The world is progressing. Then you will not expecting the same technology of your phone 1 year later. And we are expecting the video game with better graphic, faster. Remember that a few years before, when you turn on your computer, you have to wait for maybe 1 minute, right? And now then you maybe only wait for 10 seconds, right? And then you will expect that there is robots. You're expecting the EV car, right? It's not only in the whole world, it's not only China, right? India is rising up, and then Vietnam is rising up, and then Japan, and then South Korea, or even Taiwan, or Australia, right? They all rise up. So actually, they will need that kind of AI. But the thing is, only few companies can achieve those kind of technology. Nvidia is one of them, and then is AMD, but they are in different group. And TSM is for the foundry, right? The base material. ASML is for that technology. Samsung is doing on that. Intel can do that, right? So MediaTek in Taiwan can do that. So what else can do that, right? 7. I've counted already, right? Or maybe you can say it's Qualcomm. What else can do that, right? So I cannot say that then it is not hurting Nvidia. It hurts a lot. But the thing is, she get the technology. She get the technology, right? Maybe after 1 or 2 quarters, then you may expecting an iPhone 16 that is better. You're expecting your video game is better, and then the EV car come out, and you expect it's better. That means as long as Nvidia keeping that technology, it's okay for me to hold her stock, right? You know what I mean? But if her technology is loosened, right, there's everyone in the world can do her technology, then I will sell it out immediately, right? Because everyone can replace her, right? But the point is, I know that it hurts. Because the stock price really dropped a lot, more than, I think it's 55% already from the peak, right? Even we are not buying from a very high point, then we are still losing, right? So I know it hurts, but the point is, if she still holding the technology, then it's maybe just for a short time, maybe 1 quarter or 2 quarters, right? We know that it's hard because America is, US is ruling out of China, right? Is getting rid of China, and China in the past few years occupied a very large part of the world's demand or supply, something like that. So like Lululemon, right? Lululemon has a very good performance, right? I will discuss in our Hong Kong program. And for Lululemon, she is very smart. 1 year before, then when she learns that, she not increasing the proportion in China, so it's not affecting her, right? Like Nike or Adidas, it hurt them a lot, and then they are retrieving from China already. So Lululemon is very lucky, right? Quite lucky. Then 1 year before, then she already stopped developing a lot of shops in China. Then in this quarter, then her performance is very well. So my suggestions for all of you to Nvidia or AMD is don't follow the car ahead too closely, right? Maybe she come to any agreement with US government, or suddenly some news come up, because Nvidia is still holding the technology. She is not like Shopify, right? Shopify is just e-commerce. Nowadays, not only Shopify can do the e-commerce. A lot of people can do the e-commerce, right? A lot of people can take the part, like PayPal. Now, not only PayPal can do it, right? Visa, MasterCard, AE, a lot of e-paying tools can do the part of PayPal, right? So we have to hold some kind of stock. Stock means a high technology, like TSM, Nvidia, AMD, MediaTek, right? Intel also okay, or Qualcomm, strongly into your hand, because technology is the future, is the money, right? So I just show you, right, for Nvidia, right? You can see that for the Q2 quarter of the revenue, right, is 6.7. This is in million. The unit is in million US dollar. It's 6.7 billion US dollar for quarter, for 1 quarter. And then this is only affecting 0.4 billion of the revenue for China. So what's the point so scary, right? Maybe some speculation, or maybe they think that there will be more to come. But I think that is too much, right? It's not the net income, it's just the revenue. So let's see, right? And don't do anything first, right? If I'm suggesting if you sell Nvidia, you should sell it already. Not at this late moment, right? Not at this late moment. If you need to sell Nvidia, I think you sell it few months before already, right? Not at this late moment, right? The stock price is already like a floor price already, right? So it's the same applied to AMD. We can see that, right? AMD better. It falls about 3% yesterday night, right? You can see that the stock price has been over 164 and then dropped it to yesterday 82. Is just a half, right? Just a half. And then for ASML is better, right? The peak is nearly 900, right? And then now still has a half, right? That means a half. So ASML dropped at 3% yesterday night, right? Okay, then we share up to here, and thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please give us a like, and then any comment is welcome, right? So please help to hit the subscribe button underneath the YouTube, and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is new video uploaded, then you will get informed. Okay, today is Friday, and I hope everyone has a very peaceful weekend. See everyone next Friday. Bye bye.